Now models are taken from the MVC pattern, model view controller, and by using models you can access similar fields through a single object. Now what are the similar fields? In a single object we have all these fields. They belongs to this object. So we will create a model of this object so that we can have all of these fields at a single place, and through this we can use it later also. It will be easy to understand and manage code by using models. And to create a model, what you have to do, you have to create a class like this, public class movie, define all the fields and generate setters and getters. If you are already aware of this stuff, then it is great. If you are not, then you will learn something fabulous. So now let's go back to our code. Let's create one package first, new package, and I will name it JSON Parsing demo.models. Okay, I have to just create the models. Right, I can delete the previous package. Sometimes it just create like that. Okay, so inside this model package I will create a new Java class and I will name it movie model. So this is our movie model, and what we have to do in this movie model, what I will do, I will copy a single object and I will paste it here so that I can see all the fields. And there is one recommendation here, that if you put the field names similar to what is given in the JSON, then it will be easier for you to parse it, and you can even use JSON and you can do a lot of different things, and it will be easier for you to understand. So first field is private string movie. The second is private int year. Third is private string. Okay, it's not string, it's float. Rating, duration, and then we have directive, then we have tagline, and then we have cast. But cast is an array, and instead of cast we will use image. Control D is the shortcut for creating the same object again, and this is the last thing, is story. Now what we are missing is the cast. So we have created our model for this and this. Now this is the last thing that we are missing. Now cast is again an array, and inside that we have a different object. So we will create a static class for this, and we will create an inner class. So static class cast, and it will have only one field, private string name. And here in our real model, what we will have is private list of cast list. Alt enter to import that. Now we can remove it. Okay, so this is our structure, this is our model for a single object that we have here. Okay, so now let's create getters and setters for these things. So the first thing is we have to make it a public class, and the shortcut is alt insert to create getters and setters. So get name, set name is created. and again press Alt Enter by putting your mouse here. Alt insert getters and setters for all the fields. So we have get movie, set movie, get year, set year, and so on, right? So this was our model. Now let's see what we can do. Here we can change this thing from here. So what we can reuse from our previous code is input stream, reader, buffer reader, line is fine, and this was the final JSON. Then the parent object is fine, parent array is fine, the string buffered. For final buffer data, we don't need this for now. Instead, okay, we have the final object here. From the final object, we can get the movie, year. What else do we need? We need rating. Okay. Before that, what we will do, we will now use our movie model here. So movie model equals to new movie model, and that's it. Movie model is here. So movie model dot set movie, and what is our movie? This guy. We don't need this local variable now. Now again, movie model dot set year, and final int dot get year. Get int year is here. Movie model dot set rating. So final object dot get double. We don't have float in JSON, so we will get the double, and that is rating, and after that we will cast it into a float. Movie model dot set director, final object dot get string and director. Let me copy it a couple more times. So director is done, duration is there, so set duration. It does not matter the order, we can put them in any order you like. Duration is there now. Tagline, set tagline. Let me copy it once more. This is our image. Set image and set story. The last thing is the story. Now what we missed is this cast again. So because it's a JSON array, then again we have to use a for loop, and then we will be able to put it. So in between, or in the end, wherever you like, you can use a for loop, and j equals to 0, j less than final object dot get JSON array. What is the name of the JSON array? It is cast. Dot length j plus plus, and why is this I? It should be j. Now let's create a cast model here. Now cast equals to new cast, and cast dot set name, and we can set the name cast dot get j dot. Okay, first we have to make it into a JSON object. JSON object cast object file dot get JSON object j, and lastly cast object dot get string here. So what we are doing here is we are getting the array, we are getting the first item from the array, putting it into a JSON object because the first item is a JSON object, and from that we are getting the name cast object dot get first name. You can make it a single line also. We can do it like this. Instead of cast object, you can put it here, and you will remove one more line. Cast. Okay. Now, when you are complete. Okay. Now, what we have here is a list of cast. We don't have only one cast, so we have to create a list of cast list equals to new array list. Let's import this guy. This will help me to get the list. And cast list dot add cast. Now after we are done with this for loop, we will set this cast list to our movie model. So movie model dot set cast list, and everything looks fine here. So we have easily got the normal JSON objects, but for the array inside the JSON object we have to use a for loop, and then we have put it here. Now this is one JSON object we have first, but what we have here is multiple number of JSON objects. So we have to use a list for our movies. So we have to create a list of movie model list equals to new array list, and after each for loop we will add movie model list dot add movie model, and this is adding the final object in the list. Now what we will be returning? We will be returning this movie list. So when we return a movie list here, we will get an error that previously you said that you will be returning a string. Now you are returning some different type of object. I don't take it. So what you have to do, you have to change the signature of your JSON task. Now you will be getting a list of movie model, and in the on post execute you will receive a list of movie model, and we will not be setting the data on this TV data, so we can remove it, and we can put a to do here, need to set data to the list. So we are done with the casting here. We can even remove this TV data from here. Now let's go back to our main activity here. We don't need this one. Remove it. and we actually don't need this button. We will use a different approach. So let's remove this button also, and I will remove the padding from this example, because our list will make sure that you have the padding. So now let's go back to the design, and here you can find a list and you can put it here like this. So we have a list view here, and the ID is LV movies. So list movies is the name. Now instead of button hit, what I will have is a list view, find view by ID, r dot id dot lv movies. Remove the button and comment this thing also. Okay, so to refresh the data or to fetch the data, we will use a button. We will not open the app and we will not directly load the data. We will use a click event. However, you can load the data directly. It's up to you. What I will be doing, I will be using the menu option which we have learned in the previous sessions. And here we have one menu option, that is settings. So instead of settings, I will change it to refresh, and the text will be changed to refresh, action refresh, copy it, paste it here, action refresh is now. And in our main activity we have commented a couple of lines, remember. Now we will need these lines. So uncomment it, menu, action refresh. So if we clicked on the refresh button, we are supposed to call new JSON task dot execute, and in the execute we have to pass the URL, right? So now the URL has changed, and the new URL is this, a complete list of data, right? So we are almost done. Just one thing is remaining, the adapter, which will display this list. So we have the list, and we will make it a field, Control Alt Shift T, make it a field, LV movies. Now what we will do, we have already called the JSON task execute method, but we will eventually know that we have completely successfully executed our JSON task in the onPost execute. So in the onPost execute, we will create our adapter, and we will set our adapter here. So previously, if you remember, we have used an array adapter, but this time we cannot use array adapter because our list view does not contain only string items. It can contain it is containing images and lots of other data. So for that, what you have to do is you have to create a custom list view. So now we will be creating a custom list view in our code. So let's do that.